Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we are looking at Serious Creatures by Tony McMillen, the epic comic book series chronicling the life of a teenage special effects artist. It is so good. I cannot wait to share it with you. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button and let's get right into it. Okay, so if you watch my channel, you may be familiar with the name Tony McMillen. He is the creator of one of my favorite comic books of all time, Atta Boy. I had him on the show for a comic chat. We talked about Atta Boy, we talked about Serious Creatures, we talked about all his other stuff. Serious Creatures is his epic, huge. I mean, look at this. This is just volume one. The story of a teenage special effects wizard named Bobby Feckle. It is such an amazing story. Tony is currently in a Kickstarter for Serious Creatures Reel 2, the sequel to this epic tome. The first series was 6 issues collected. The second series was either 5 or 6 collected, and the Kickstarter that he has going right now is for the collection of the second trade paperback, which I pledged to. You should pledge to as well. At the time this video is coming out, there's about a week left in his Kickstarter, and this is such a great jumping on point. You can get the first volume and the second volume and take care of all at once. This was like summer vacation. Such a good read. You can see this beautiful cover. Look at this gorgeous cover colors. Tony McMillen, such a Bounce House Comics, such a visionary, one of the most talented cartoonists working today in comic books for sure. Just got Atta Boy published from Mad Cave. People are very excited about it. Atta Boy was my favorite Tony McMillen book, but damn, I cannot tell you how much I enjoyed this. Just diving into this, it felt like an amazing novel. It felt like summer vacation. It sucked me right in. I could relate to the story kind of in a lot of different ways. You know, this boy visits. Okay, so it's basically about the special effects, the history of special effects and this one kid's journey in Hollywood and practical effects. And sort of, it starts kind of with Jaws, and Jaws was arguably, well, I'm not arguably, but Jaws was the first summer blockbuster. It started, you know, monster movies. It started the summer event, the summer blockbuster. It raised the bar. It gave birth to movies like Star Wars and E.T., and it's all kind of covered in here. It isn't like a direct story, but there's a lot of like amalgams, there's a lot of like avatars, there's a lot of stand-ins. Like Tony refers to the collective group of directors as the Beards. There's like Space Beard, who is obviously oh my gosh, what's his name? This George Lucas. There's like I forgot. There's like Near Beard, there's like this beard, but it's all Spielberg, Lucas, and, you know, Scorsese, probably Kubrick, and all the great directors from that era. You know, and this kid, he's sort of, he's on summer vacation as they're filming Finn, which is obviously Jaws. And so he wants to be a special effects artist, and just like being on the set, he meets this guy named Jack he would become his apprentice and pave the way for the future. He lives in Arizona. He's only 16, so hopefully he's trying to get to California by the time he's 18 and be Jack's apprentice. He winds up getting to California before that and becomes his apprentice. And this is all about his journey, how he works with one of the most sought-after special effects artists, and how he becomes one himself. I cried, like a hard cry, at least 3 times during this. There's family relations that always tug at the heartstrings. I don't know, it just feels vintage. It just feels like a novel. Like I said, summer vacation is like the best word I can use to describe this. It like completely transported me and took me away. You know, it's this realistic, straightforward story, but you've got Tony's art, which is highly imaginative and highly stylized and very dark and gritty, and lends itself very well for the times that we go to dark other worlds or fantasy, drug trips or anything like that. It's very much a coming of age story. I love that it takes place like in the 70s and the 80s. Like, that is arguably one of the best eras ever, especially for stories like this. He's being raised by a single mother who has a drinking problem, and he has an estranged relationship with his father, and he's close to his sister, who is not close to his mother and is close to his father. So there's all these interesting family dynamics happening, and Bobby is just so human. He is like everybody. He's like neurotic. He's a nerd. He's insecure. But he's also, it's weird. It's just, it just hits so hard on everything. See, here we have all the beards. Bluebeard, Dr. Strange beard, No beard, Wolf beard, John Landis, I guess, the God beard, Coppola, Nearbeard. I know, is that Carpenter again? No, Carpenter, I don't know. Sharkbeard, Spielberg, and Spacebeard, Lucas. Like, it is just so fun, so imaginative. Like, it sort of lets you know what's happening with sort of a wink and a smile. Obviously he can't use the real people, and I just thought that this was such a clever way to do this. There's all kinds of interesting subplots. There's a large, rich cast of characters. This is, I am telling you, one of the most amazing comic books you will ever read. And it has absolutely nothing to do with superheroes. Yet it's fantastical in the fact that it takes place, in Hollywood, and they're coming up with these creatures for movies. And it talks about practical effects and sort of, the trials and tribulations of Hollywood and how movies get started. And there's this like dynamic between him and his mentor. Like, he kind of learns how people operate and people's true nature and stuff, and how human people can be. And it's just so cool. And then we get awesome ass panels like this that are clearly, like, this is straight out of Jaws, and I absolutely love it. I'm going to get this out of the way, and Tony already knows this. My only criticism of the book is the font is tiny and so stylized that it is a chore to read. Like, look how verbose this is. This isn't a toilet read. I'm telling you, this took several committed settings to read, and I am glad that I had it all at once. Like, it reminds me of a Netflix series that you're gonna like fucking binge as quick as you possibly can because you can't get enough of it. Like, I couldn't wait to see what happens. Then we get all these like little teasers and fun little things here, like fake movie posters, and they talk about movies. Sometimes they're completely made up, sometimes they're referential to other movies, and it's just so clever. Tony is so intelligent, the way he wove this story together. The dialogue feels so natural, and just like, I just could feel every emotion. I could feel every intention of every character. And it's just so well done. Oh, but like I said, okay, so the font is stylized, small, tiny, and a little bit hard to read. Probably my old ass eyes didn't help either. But Tony said that the second book does have a bigger, more legible font. But in his defense, there is a lot to say here. This could easily be like twice the size of it is, but it doesn't feel overwritten. You know what I mean? It feels like there's oddly, with so many words, there's still an economy of words. Like, I feel like every word has meaning, every word counts, every word has an impact, and every word is justifiably there. I don't think it will be long, or it shouldn't be long. Tony definitely needs to shop this around. I can see a bigger publishing house wanting to jump on this. This is such a great story. This is definitely made for a comic book fan. Like I said, me and my brother were super into comic books. He got me into comics. We loved horror movies. He always got Fangoria. We were obsessed with like behind the scenes. I mean, come on, the making of Michael Jackson's Thriller and like American Werewolf in London, life-changing, right? I think probably for 5 minutes we both wanted to be special effects artists, but you know, I wanted to be everything: an actor, comic book artist, a special effects artist, you know, a Muppet. I mean, whatever. Here's the covers of some of this from some of the individual issues. I mean, I cannot wait. Like, it's funny because this feels so complete. Like, as I was, like, I never thought I would get through it because it's thick as hell. But then the closer I got to the end, I never wanted to get to the end. I never wanted it to end. I never wanted to leave these characters. That's what I'm saying, how it feels like a great, like, American novel. Like, these characters are going to stay with me forever. I felt like I pulled the plug from the tub towards the end, and I could feel the water draining out, and I just didn't want these characters to disappear from my life, and I cannot wait to see what happens next. Like I said, like, you can own this, a beautiful, gorgeous trade paperback, and get the story of Bobby Feckle and his mentor Jack, and how he came up in Hollywood. And then the next reel is going to be the rise and fall of practical effects. So I think that's going to have largely to do, and they talk a little bit about it here, how CGI and computer effects are going to edge out practical effects and, you know, put these people out of their job. It's funny because I do know a special effects artist, Dan, who still does practical effects, and I'm wondering, maybe lower budget movies, some people will always love practical effects. I think there's definitely a market for them, as long as there's always going to be a love for it. So I don't know, but I'm very curious to see what happens to Bobby Feckle. The good news is I don't have to find out too long. The Kickstarter is almost over. The book is complete, so I will have volume 2 hopefully in the next couple months, and be able to come back and review it for you and tell you what the hell happens to Bobby. I know he becomes a success. You know, in the beginning he talks about winning awards and being successful and stuff, but it kind of ends with him just getting there. So it'll be interesting to see, like, what he works on, where he goes, their trajectory. He's still so young. He has a whole career and life ahead of him, and I cannot wait to see where it goes. This is easily one of the best books I have ever read. Tony McMillen is the fucking real deal. He is beyond talented. I don't know what sort of magical well he has tapped into it, but he has tapped in, hardwired, and I hope he continues to produce amazing, beautiful books like this. To go from something so clever and interesting and sort of not like a one-hit wonder, but gimmicky in a way of like Atta Boy, to something like sweeping and like just so deep and nuanced as this, is just a tremendous accomplishment. Much success to you, Tony. The Kickstarter is already a success. No surprise. Like, this is such an amazing story. I cannot wait for the sequel. You guys need to get on the Tony McMillen tip. Mad Cave has published Atta Boy. That is a good starting point. Actually, a better starting point was, as soon as you finish this video, follow the link to the Kickstarter and order Volume 1 and Volume 2 of Serious Creatures. I am telling you, it is money well spent. You are... I can't even tell you how much you're going to enjoy this, so you just might as well find out for yourself. So thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button, and I will bring you more soon.